With the Switch 2 just around the corner, and mainline Pokemon games still not being on the original Switch and its online system, I think it's the perfect opportunity to add mainline classic Pokemon games to this new console. I mean, just imagine playing Gen 1, 2 and 3 on this console. I mean, I think what's great about the 3DS is up until 7th gen, you could actually play every single generation on that thing. Every gen of mainline Pokemon games, apart from Gen 3 for whatever reason, but it was cool and it was needed. I mean, we used Pokemon Bank and now we use Pokemon Home. We even have Pokemon Trading Card Game and Pokemon Stadium, that the whole point of that game is to transfer Pokemon to this battle simulator, and we can't do it. We still don't have Gen 1, 2 or 3 on the Switch Online subscription service, and I have no idea why. This would sell so well. A lot of people, including me, when we were growing up collecting handhelds, Nintendo handhelds that is, we were basically just using these as Pokemon machines. I collect Game Boys, and pretty much the only games I play on them are Pokemon games. Not to say that the other games on these devices aren't great, but these games carry those devices on their own. And I believe if Nintendo just released these games, they would make a fortune, or at least they would see a significant spike in sales of that Switch Online service. I mean, how are you going to have all these classic games, but not the biggest you own? It just doesn't make sense to me. The only reason I can possibly think they haven't done this yet is something to do with the trading and online system, although that's the thing, we already have an online multiplayer system on the subscription service. You can play Mario Kart, the classic Mario Kart games online. Why can't we just trade Pokemon? I mean, it's not that hard. Even if you were to argue like, oh, what if everyone just picked Pokemon Red, it would be harder to find someone on Pokemon Blue, and, you know, what if you have both options to Pokemon Red and Blue, you know, is that a bit weird? No, people would find a way around it and people would pick a certain game and you would still be able to, you know, do that whole trade and battle thing, you know, the actual slogan of the whole franchise. I mean, even if you didn't, I think people would still enjoy playing these games. Yeah, it would be a little weird how you couldn't get trade evolutions, but still, it would be a lot of fun without that, even still, and give us a reason to play Pokemon Stadium, and we can transfer our Pokemon over to Pokemon Stadium. And just like the 3DS, when Gens 1 and 2 was released on that console, you would be able to transfer your Pokemon from Gens 1, 2 and 3, I believe, to Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Stadium 2, and that would be amazing. I just think with Legends Arceus CA around the corner as well, even though I do see that being a Switch 2 game, maybe a Switch 2 and Switch 1 game, I can't imagine it being a launch title. And with the Switch 2's sort of lack of an amazing launch library, it had Breath of the Wild, but that was it. That game carried the Switch 1 for such a long time. But can you imagine if we got, for example, Mario Kart 9 on the Switch 2, and then it released with like some classic games, maybe like the Red and Blue bundle is free with the console and stuff like that, just to encourage people to, I don't know, just give them more of a reason to purchase this new console apart from the potential gimmick that we talked about last time. I don't know, I just think this is the perfect time, especially with Pokemon Home. Imagine just having one console and every Pokemon game, and Pokemon Home finally has a reason to exist and isn't just a mess where you can actually integrate every single Pokemon game, mainline plus some spin-offs, Legends game, Pokemon Go, and you can just have every Pokemon in one place. If not, I think things are going to get messy. I think there's just even less of a reason to buy Pokemon Home, especially if you have all these Pokemon games on the Switch that you can't transfer to the Switch 2. I don't know, I would just love a coherent system, and I think part of that system needs to be classic games, and people will play these and people will buy these. I know myself and many others will buy the online plus whatever it's called subscription service just to play Pokemon games. 100%, that is what people want. And what's even cooler is you could play these on the TV. I mean, the only way to do that is to get like the GameCube and the GameCube Game Boy adapter. That probably sets you back about £300 or dollars. I mean, it's time, Nintendo, please bring these classic games to online services, or even better, print them out, which they won't do. But here's hoping. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you want to see these games return, or is this an unrealistic pipe dream? Thanks for watching and subscribe.